Okay, so sticking to the theme of privacy, we're going to segue over to the spotlight, put the spotlight on DeCC, pioneering projects shaping the future of Web3 and shining a light on groundbreaking confidential computing projects illuminating Web3 security as pioneering initiatives to rebuild trust for a world let down by big business, tech giants, government, and finance. So I'd like to welcome to the stage all of the amazing speakers that will be contributing their insights and knowledge to this panel today. I have Conrad, Anthony from iExec, Shibtoshi, and there might have been a few others. Yeah, so I only have this on my list, but we will do a full round of introductions as soon as they join me here on the panel now. So please come forth to the stage for this amazing discussion. All right, and we are just missing Shibtoshi. He's taking a break from that last interview we had. So I think, should we go ahead and get started, or should we wait a second? Okay, well, whenever Shibtoshi comes on, then we'll just we'll get him going right into the chat. But while we're waiting, I'd love for you guys just to give introductions on who you are, your background, your company, and what you're doing.
Oh, me first? That's intimidating. I'm Anthony. I'm the head of R&D at iExec. We are a protocol. We're based in France, one of the earliest French ICOs. So what we do is we are a protocol, and we provide tools for builders to create applications that give to the users control back on the data to protect it and monetize it the way that they want. My background is in distributed systems. I have a PhD in distributed computing. What is that? Thank you so much. That's weird. Yeah, and I've been in the blockchain business for over 5 years. And I think we'll get a chance to talk about how we fall in this. So can we say DCC? I like DCC. Yeah.
DCC, that's right.
Awesome. Hello, I'm Sean Conrad. I do developer relations for Secret Network Foundation. So clap it up if you're a developer in the room. All right, a few developers. Clap it up if you've heard of Secret Network before. All right, awesome. Yeah, we're going to learn a lot today. You're going to learn about some of the incredible applications that are being built on Secret Network. And I'm excited to share some of those applications we're being built right now.
Hi, everybody. I have a flair for the dramatic, so apologies starting now for what happens on the rest of the panel. I'm an artist. I'm a developer also. I work with a group called PageDAO. We're a community-based organization. I loved all the words we heard earlier from Shibtoshi about the importance of community. So basically, we're a decentralized, crowdfunded, public good building organization putting books on chain. And we're working on putting those books on chain on Secret Network, the only secure computing that will hold books that will compete with Amazon. And so that's what we're working on. What's your name? Oh, I'm Robbie Pollock. Happy to be here.
He's so excited about what he's building, he forgot to introduce himself. Hey, amazing, thank you.
What's
and
going on, everybody? Shibtoshi here. Good to be up here again. Founder of SquidGrow.
Amazing, yeah. You need no introduction, and we just did an incredible panel, so we got to know a little bit more about Shibtoshi, and we will be diving a little bit deeper into what you're building as well. But now I'd like to get into the first order of the panel today, and that in Web 2, we've seen over and over that we can't depend on centralized actors, and we discussed this in our fireside chat earlier. And I think that the Web 2 world, people outside of Web 3 and Web 3 alike were so let down by having had that faith and put their faith into somebody and lost it all or lost confidence in the space completely. And so for me, it propels me to see that people are picking it up again, picking up the pieces, rebuilding, and trying to educate people and show people that there's a way to do this, that you maintain that integrity, and that you can, be in control of your funds and have self-sovereignty, right? And that's so important in this space. So we have the chance to take the control again of our data, of our assets, and but there's a limit to what we can do on public blockchains as a foundation. So we're going to go there again and really get more deeper into this topic. So tell us about what your projects are doing to unlock use cases that are impossible without confidential computation. I think we can just go ahead and start and see it go all around.
All right. So the thing is all about, I think, in our opinion, so at iExec, what we provide is tools to really at the origin it was off-chain computing. So let off-chain computing get the same properties or similar properties as the blockchain. So you cannot really store and process a lot of the data on the blockchain. And also there's this trade-off of what you put on-chain and what you put off-chain. This is just kind of the key to privacy. When we think about privacy, I think the question is not so much should we hide everything, but giving back control to users to really set the trade-off where they need it. So at iExec, we provide these tools. They're really, really simple. So for example, we have one that's called Data Protector. It's about 5 API functions. Grant access, revoke access, set a price. Very soon this year we'll have more functions about, offering data rental, for example. But all of this, I think, is a necessity because we see so many leaks. Every week we see one new breach. So for example, I'm French. In France, we had a huge breach 2 weeks ago of the unemployment services. And anyone who had been unemployed for maybe like 1 month over the last 20 years, which was my case, because when I was a student, at some point I had a job, and then I was unemployed. So for 3 months I was unemployed, and my social security number, my email address, my physical address, my phone number, all of this was leaked. And users of Web2 services are just used to this state of things. What can we do better? And I think we in this room know that we can actually do better. Now we have the technologies. We have blockchain that we can use to actually record something that is very important, that is called consent. I consent to give you access to my data for this purpose, and that's it. And I record this on the blockchain. And the other thing that's really important and really groundbreaking is confidential computing, obviously. Now we have techniques, either based on cryptography or on special hardware, like trusted execution environments, that cannot behave in a way that ignores the rules that you have on the blockchain. So you have a ledger with rules that you cannot change, and then you have off-chain computing that cannot do anything else than abide by the rules. And I think that's really transformative. And our duty here, I think, is to let the people know, the public know that this is possible, so that one day they will go to this big tech and tell them, why didn't you use that technology? Why did you let my data leak when you could have done better?
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that insight. And one thing I'd like to point out is I'm on like the 3rd year of my world speaking tour now, and I also do like big fintech events and tech events that are starting to incorporate blockchain tracks. I mean, the two should be together all the time. We need to work together and build together. But one of the questions in the beginning was, what can you guys do with this technology that we can't do? I mean, there was no apparent use case for them that they couldn't do through their own tech, but you made it so abundantly clear, right, that this is
exactly.
the solution.
And so maybe we can meet again in 10 years and see how it's been. But I would bet a lot of money on the fact that when people realize that this is possible, they will want it. And everything else will have to change.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you.
Yes, and I think you'll still be on your world tour in 10 years, Megan.
I'm never stopping.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah, we have a mission here, and you're all a big part of it.
Yes, and that's also what brought me to Secret Network. So what's incredible about Secret Network is everything is private by default, right? Everything on EVM, on Ethereum, public by default. All of your information is shared with the world. On Secret Network, private. So the first application I ever wanted to make as a developer was a secret business card. I live in New York City. I moved a lot. My grandma kept sending packages to old addresses. And I was like, what if I could make an application where I could have a business card where every time I updated my address, everyone who had access to it had updated in one place. And it was so easy to use, my grandma could use it. And so that's what brought me from the EVM to Secret Network. I was able to build that application. And then from there, I became a part of the ecosystem, and I wanted to start to help other developers learn how to build on Secret. And so an incredible thing is now that I work in developer relations, I'm watching developers come from the EVM to Secret all the time because they have private applications they want to make that they can only do in what we said, a trusted execution environment. And so we just had the Secret Hackathon just conclude about 2 weeks ago, and we saw a lot of incredible applications come out of this. We have a new developer initiative in Africa right now, and one of the applications that was built was like a private voting application so that there could be private voting in Nigeria. So just as soon as developers come to our network and they understand what's possible on Secret that's not possible anywhere else, I think something just clicks, and that's what we're really excited to see, and to see these apps start to just flourish in our ecosystem. And you have an incredible application you built. I think you can speak to this more.
So we started on EVM, and we were on Discord during the pandemic. We had a server with a bunch of poets and writers and hip-hop artists. There's a hip-hop party tonight in Brooklyn. Anyway, I'm headed over there after party. But what we found was that people were looking for tools to mint their works on chain, and like after a while, we sold a couple of ETH worth of stuff for people, and the one thing they asked for, they were like, can we protect our work in some kind of way? And I was like, yeah, there are lots of ways to protect your work. There's token gating. And we saw over the last 2 years, platforms came up for publishing in decentralized, on Web3. They were all centralized protection. People lost assets. People lost value. The NFTs content disappeared. People paid for this stuff, and they were like, hey, I thought it was protected. And so we looked for a very long time for a solution that would put that protection layer not just like sitting on some dude's server somewhere with a key that might be who knows where, but a key that literally was inaccessible because it's locked in a smart contract running on a trusted execution environment. Don't let these guys pretend that this is easy stuff, all right? Like they're developer relations. He's got a PhD. I'm an artist, and I tried writing Cosm Wasm. It is hard. How many people know what Cosm Wasm is? Ew, go home. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's hard. It's harder than Solidity, which is kind of like a fake language anyway, right? It's built on Rust, and it's hard. And I recently, with the support of Secret, got a team together in a day, wrote with a team from France's code to secure for the first time the private key for the world's books. They're going to live securely on Secret Network. I'm stoked. I mean, and we have like big authors lined up, right? So like paged out, look at it, check it out on the thing. But like when the authors come, they're just going to be users. They're not going to care what's on the trusted execution layer, but we're going to be running on Secret, and that'll let us survive the next 10, 15, 20, 100. My grandchildren can inherit my tokens, right? Like that's what I'm talking about. Was that too much hype? No. I felt like a little bit too hypey. What's up in the bag? I'm from New York, by the way, so I'm entitled to be as hypey as I want. I used to be a bike messenger, and I delivered stuff to this building as a bike messenger before Web3. So you know what I'm saying?
Wow, you're bringing that energy today.
I'm just saying, I'm from New York.
Oh, that's amazing.
Rub some of that off on me.
All right. You guys, I mean, this is a developer point of view, and for me it's really special because I'm usually on different types of panels and maybe more theoretical, but this is actually showing us how you're implementing the tech and making it at least easy for us to understand, although it's hard, and that's something truly difficult to do, right? So it's really cool to see what goes on under the hood, and the way you guys explained it is just phenomenal. I mean, this is super exciting. I'm hyped. So that must be the New Yorker in you, but you got me excited, So cool. Thank you guys for shedding light on that. And Shibtoshi, it's you.
Oh, dang. Hello, y'all. Yeah.
Put it on the chin of the mask.
All right.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
I heard it was a little quiet in the back.
Yeah.
What's going on, y'all?
There we go.
Yeah, no, I feel like privacy should be a given, and just like in real world, we don't want people seeing our bank statements. We don't want people, obviously seeing our credit card statements. I think that privacy is very important, and I don't have as cool as shit that y'all are developing, but I am trying to make my mark in this privacy space, and going to start making a strong push and into that realm. First one being Silent Swap. So sorry I'm not as hypey as some of the other guys up here. I'm not a dev.
I think your mask hypes us up just enough.
I'm very grateful to be here with Secret Network and all the support that they have given us in achieving the ability to develop Silent Swap. So, you know, it all started with a conversation with Patrick and introduction from Aztec and, you know, lining up the right developers, and we're able to successfully build a privacy cross-chain aggregator. I mean,
all right, round of applause for that. That's amazing. And Secret Network. I'm so glad I discovered this. I'm so glad, because this is a place where all the magic is happening. Like, this is where it's all going down. I mean, like I said before, Ethereum, Vitalik, the founder of Ethereum, he was, you know, he wrote a piece on why privacy is paramount to moving forward. And just like seeing how you guys are putting this into practice and the different use cases and how you're implementing that to push this tech forward, it's amazing. So we're going to then switch on to the next topic, which is that there's been a lot of talk recently about modular blockchain narrative. So allowing different networks to combine in order to make more powerful applications. More dev stuff, but they're going to make it easy for us to understand, right? So how can DCC or confidential computing be used with public blockchains like Ethereum to make new use cases and stronger applications? I think we can just do a roundtable on this as well.
All right. I think I've said my first answer that to me, off-chain computing, I mean, decentralized confidential computing has the power to bring to off-chain computing some, if not all, of the properties of the blockchain, which has, you know, trust, resilience, verifiability, and when you look at cross-chain, I think confidential computing is just at the right place to just be able to look at different networks, execute some logic, transfer assets in weird logical ways, like, you know, log here and log there. But for that, you need to be off-chain. And as soon as you get off-chain, then you lose the blockchain properties. And confidential computing is just the one key technology to bring these properties off-chain. So if you want a bridge that transfers an NFT from one network to another, these two networks need to communicate. Of course, you can implement a specific protocol for these two chains. And if you have time, then maybe you can implement all of the possible protocols for all of the different networks. And you can embed that in the networks. Or you can make it off-chain. You can make it very flexible. You can make it very future-proof. But you can make it still as trustable and verifiable as if it was embedded in the protocol. So I think that's why DCC is really a key enabler for cross-chain applications.
Oh, great explanation. Thank you for that. Let's continue that discussion.
Yeah, so I mean, what's incredible about DCC is that Ethereum needs this, right? Ethereum needs to be able to do privacy on-chain, and Secret Network provides that solution. And so what we've seen, I've been working on the docs with my partner Alex. We've created an EVM developer toolkit using a bridge called Secret Path, which uses elliptic curve cryptography on Secret Network to allow private payloads on Ethereum, as well as verifiable randomness on-chain on Ethereum that is faster and cheaper than Chainlink VRF. And so what we've seen is we've been going on the ground to hackathons. We just went to ETH Denver, right, the biggest crypto conference in the world. And one of the winning infrastructure tracks of the hackathon used Secret VRF with this bridge we created, Secret Path. That's true modularity. We're seeing EVM winning projects use Secret's tech because it's better than competitors who are out there right now. We just came back from ETH Bucharest, where the winning project there, again, just won the hackathon using Secret VRF. And that's all possible with elliptic curve cryptography on Secret Network. So like, if you guys want a narrative, if you want to see something cool, just Google Secret Path docs, Secret Network, Secret Path docs, check it out. Look at the architecture. It's what's coming to the EVM, and people are just starting to get on the wave.
Wow, so we're on the cutting edge. That was like a mic drop moment right there. That was amazing. Wow. Incredible.
I got to shout out those docs. So I was having trouble doing, there's two main gateways right now, or mechanisms for Secret Networks, security as a service or privacy as a service. And I was having trouble with one, and I was like, ooh, look at this amply documented Secret Path stuff. I spun up a thing that worked in like a day, and I was like, yo, I'm using this. And then their boss was like, yo, you got to use the other one, homie, if you want the money. So I was like, all right, I'll use the other one, no problem. Anyway, no one is as interested in that as I am. I will say, though, that like we don't understand how difficult it is to bridge. Like, and the one thing I know is like, I used to busk in 14th Street. I got mad old New York stories, by the way. So don't get me started. I got mad New York stories. But I used to busk in 14th Street and play guitar and stuff. And one of the really, really interesting things about it is that the customer, the person who's putting the money in the thing, does not care a thing about what brand my guitar is. They don't care what sneakers I got on. They care if they're impacted by the message that I'm saying, by what I'm expressing. So like for artists and for consumers, the people we want to bring to crypto, they just do not care about what its rails are. They want to ride in a comfortable car on a nice leather seat, and they want it to rock only just a little bit, maybe if it's exciting. So like, but what we need to do is create the sturdiest rails possible. And I swear, our team has searched up and down for these sturdy rails. We've even considered building them. And like the best thing that I've seen behind DECC, I don't think people really are getting the concept that I can't put the next Stephen King novel on a bullshit platform, because that will undercut the entire platform forever if that IPFS link gets unpinned, if that digital rights management gets hacked, right? I have to put it on the sturdiest, most decentralized platform that is not controlled by a government that can censor it, which we see, an authoritarian regime of any kind. This is content that will not be able to be removed. This is terrifying for the powers that be. Because of the control it gives. And that also means not just that the content can't be removed, but you can't stop getting paid for it. Because what we see with revolutionary thinkers, and I don't want to get too crazy, but the cops can come and tell me to move and stop busking on 14th Street. That revenue stream goes away. But my digital assets will go out there, and that revenue stream will never go away. And that, to me, is really, really powerful stuff for movement making, for growth, for building communities that don't have access to the mainstream things. Okay, that's my pause right there. This is like a good ending note.
That was powerful. I mean, that was amazing. What I'm hearing here is immutability and the power of, it existing on the blockchain without being in the hands of one central authority that can do what they like with it, that can censor it, that can take those rights away. And also that mainstream doesn't care what's under the hood. They just want it to work and work good and work fast. And so that's the importance of these solutions that are being built now and the secret network. So it's been really enlightening to hear more about the details of, the making of. So very cool. And Shibtoshi, you want to weigh in on this?
No, I don't have anything to weigh in on.
Well, what we'll do then is we'll finalize this now with a rapid fire, and we can start with you then, Shibtoshi, and go that way. Is when you think about the future of Web3, what do you see as the most important thing to ensure that Web3 stays decentralized and empowers individuals with data security and self-sovereignty? And basically, your closing thoughts. So.
That's a great question. You build it that way. That's how you achieve that. You build it that way.
Boom. Man, a few words, but powerful words. So can you just tell us, where do you see the future of this space headed? What do you think is the most important aspect?
Well, future is a little grim sometimes. I think that crypto and privacy will be adapted in the mainstream, in the future. Obviously, I'm not going to speculate on to what extent, but I definitely think that it's going to go mainstream in a much bigger way. I think we can definitely see some governments getting involved with it and kind of shedding some light on it.
Absolutely, and you're playing a fundamental role in that and helping your friends and family, like you said, and starting there and going outward and building for the community, but building something cool. So thank you so much for shedding light on that. And we'll continue down the road. Your closing thoughts?
Really quick, I guess for me it's about collaboration. We talked about community, but we haven't really seen a lot of innovation around advancements in self-governance and self-organization. So 3, 4, 5 poets want to put together an anthology, they have to do all of that off-chain right now. You can't really collaborate very easily, set the terms for how we work together on-chain. So what we're going to see is more democratic structures, deeper to the protocol level. DAOs, we all know that DAOs have taken over. Distribution of power all the way down to the people is what I'm seeing.
Distribution of power, I love that. Amazing.
What I hope for is just that people build cool apps, because no one really cares about privacy, right? Like, everyone's on TikTok giving all of their information to China for
Facts.
clout, because nobody cares. Teenagers in America would pay China $10 if they could get 10 Instagram followers, right? But what we're building is a network where whoever builds on us has privacy by default, so that if you have money, fund the apps that are cool, that people are going to use. That's the next wave, is applications. Like what Shibtoshi is doing with Silent Swap. Check out check out Silent Swap. It's so easy to use that you would be dumb not to use it. That's what we need for all of our applications, because as soon as we make it that way, people will use those apps. Otherwise, people are just going to chase clout. So build the apps that allows them to chase clout with privacy by default.
Oh, I love that. That's amazing. Thank you so much for that. Go ahead.
Of course, I agree with all of the previous answers. I will add one. I think one thing that is paramount for the future of Web3 is, it's going to sound stupid, but it's adoption. Adoption. Because your protocol is as decentralized as your network. And if you have thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of users, a small portion of these users will be interested, enthusiastic about your protocol, and they will want to run a node. They will want to be a part of the protocol. And that's how it becomes truly decentralized. I don't know how you guys define decentralization. The way I do it usually is I say, it's a sort of balance of power between all of the parties involved in something. So if there's 3 people in the room and you need equal power between all 3, you can have decentralization with only 3 nodes. In an open protocol, you probably need thousands, millions of nodes, and you need to keep this alive. And this is done by adoption. That was my closing thoughts.
Wow, so much alpha, so much information on this panel. I feel like just listening to this panel, you probably got a master class in the future of how you should build in this space. And like you were saying earlier, we need to make it so easy. You'd be stupid not to use it, right? Just to keep it simple and make it easy for people to understand. So Silent Swap, Secret Network, all of this technology, they're doing a phenomenal job at propelling this narrative forward and being able to build like this honestly for the future. So it's been a real pleasure, guys. Big round of applause for this panel, and hopefully catch up with you soon.